Hello, my name is Adam Sturm and I am a photojournalist. Before I show you an example of my first work, I would first like to show you an example of my lighting technique. As you can see, I have 3 lights set up, which is basic 3-point lighting. First, I have my key light, which is my main source of light. Behind me, I have my backlight, and over to the side, I have my fill light. This only took about 5 minutes to set up, which you can see in the bottom right of your screen. Now, the interviewer I have placed in between the key light and the camera, which creates what I call a reporter sandwich. This puts the shadow on the left side of your face and creates depth of field. Now, the first story I would like to show you is called Golden Gloves, which is the first story I shot after returning from the NPPA workshop. I hope you enjoy it.
Hope, desire, dedication.
I always wanted to box when I was little, so when my chance came, I took it.
13-year-old Stephen Perry started boxing a year and a half ago.
Before boxing, Stephen's grades were suffering. Now he's learning that getting good grades in the classroom and in the ring go hand in hand.
He was not one of the better students at school, and the reason why he's able to participate in boxing is because his grades have improved.
When Perry couldn't box because of his grades,
I was sad and disappointed in myself.
he decided to make a change.
I came back to the gym to improve my attitude.
And now it's time to prepare for the state's Golden Gloves.
We push him hard to be a good fighter, and he is. He's one of the top young boxers in the United States.
Coach Rodney Cummings knows how far to push. He's a previous Golden Gloves champ himself, and his reason for setting up this program?
It's an opportunity to try to get back into it, help some kids who maybe need a little mentoring in their life like I did when I was that age.
After preparing mentally and physically for the Golden Gloves, Stephen is ready for the fight.
Round 1. Perry starts the fight with a block on his opponent and corners him later for an end to the round.
He's going to quit. He's so ready to quit.
In round 2, Perry receives his second penalty for language after a holding call was not called, but he still lands a flurry of blows. Round 3 was non-existent as the blue corner throws in the towel for an easy win for Perry.
It's going good.
How do you feel you just won?
Yeah, I feel excellent.
One word to describe the fight,
Intense.
and an experience that had him walking away with a trophy and a smile on his face.
Now, the next lighting technique I'd like to show you is a little trick I picked up at the NPPA. If you'll notice, instead of normal lights, I have 2 rechargeable flashlights set up for my key and my fill. Also behind me, I have a little mag light set up as my backlight, all of which I picked up at Menards for under $100. The nice thing about these is that they're portable and they last for 2 hours. You can take them anywhere, like where you don't have sockets, and they're great for night shots. I highly recommend you pick one up. Now, my next story didn't require lights at all, but I did report the whole thing myself. It's called Red Key Police.
In the little town of Red Key, Indiana, Officer Wade Watkins patrols the streets.
It's a really good job, you know, you get a chance to give back to the community and help other folks.
But Wade Watkins isn't your average everyday Indiana State policeman.
Watkins is one of 2 new motorcycle units recently stationed in Red Key.
I've always had an interest in motorcycles. I ride off-duty in my personal life, and it's just kind of a good fit to be able to do that at work as well.
After 65 years of inactivity, Indiana began to use motorcycle units again 18 months ago.
The cost effectiveness is pretty good, and we found that out for the first year. We're still getting stats in from that, but right now the fuel mileage savings is unbelievable.
And this week, during the 2nd annual Police Motorcycle Patrol Training in Plainfield,
There's a lot of different slow cone exercises. There's also a lot of speed things and braking things of that nature.
Watkins passed with flying colors.
He's a very, very good officer.
And on nice days, you'll find him riding his bike on the streets of Red Key. In Plainfield, Adam Sturm, Newslink, Indiana.
So I can shoot, edit, report, and write. And of course, I know how to light. But right now, I'd like to show you what I know about composition. You might have noticed from my interviews I've been switching screen directions. Right now I'm facing screen left, screen right, screen left. I feel this keeps things more interesting for the viewer. I also always try to make sure to follow the rule of thirds, which is where you keep your compositions face 1/3 from the side of the screen and 1/3 from the top, instead of in the middle of the screen. But enough about that. Right now I'd like to show you my next story, which is called New Coach, where I try to turn a boring press conference into something more interesting.
Sophomore forward Anthony Newell is ready for a win.
We just couldn't really bring it together. We lost a lot of games that were just like close. We have to win us a MAC championship. I think we really can.
Next year, he'll play for Ronnie Thompson, the new head coach for Ball State men's basketball.
It seems as though some people have forgotten what Ball State is all about and how special that this basketball program can be.
The announcement came Tuesday, just a month after Ball State fired former head coach Tim Buckley. Newell says he has great respect for Buckley.
As far as X's and O's and like all the right stuff to do on the court, he's the best.
Former head coach Tim Buckley taught him the fundamentals of the game. But with 3 years left to grow, Newell says he'll look to Thompson for the motivation.
I think he's probably one of those coaches that likes to run and, just get up and down the court, and I think that's the players we have. I think that's what we need to do.
Thompson says his first priority, get to know the players.
I don't know the guys yet, and you have to figure out what makes each one tick, and each one ticks differently.
Newell feels the same.
I think they got the right guys.
And he says at the right time for some serious off-season training. In Muncie, Michelle Long, Newslink, Indiana.
Hopefully by now you've recognized that I'm big on the NPPA style, which focuses on steady shots and sequencing. But a lot of times in the business, especially the news, we don't have time to use a tripod. So I'd like to take a moment to show you that I can use a camera off the shoulder and I can keep it steady. Because not only can I do my work well, I can also do it fast. My next story is called Supercars.
It's race day at Indianapolis Raceway Park, but instead of speed, these students from Hagerstown want laps.
They do it to learn something and about aerodynamics, about building a car. They also have to learn a lot about teamwork.
It's the 11th annual IMS-TEA Super Mileage Challenge, and the goal to run as many laps around the track on the least amount of fuel. Drivers have 25 minutes to complete 10 laps in order to qualify.
When you're in the vehicle, you're kind of scared but excited at the same moment. So when you're sitting there, you can see only out of a little window. But you're in front of this vehicle that you created, and it's really a great experience to have.
Although the students ran into technical difficulties, advisor Dave Hobson says he is happy with their efforts.
If you notice around today, everyone is helping each other. It's not team against team. It's teams, the whole team, trying to beat get the best mileage.
That includes the park, which donates their facility and much-needed equipment to keep this competition running. From Claremont, Michelle Long, Newslink, Indiana.
Sadly, that was the last story I'm going to show you. However, the two things I pride myself in the most are my creativity and my sequencing. So before I go, I'd like to show you a few of the reporter stand-ups which I've shot. I'd like to add that a bunch of these shots I wouldn't have been able to get without purchasing my own HDV HC1, which allows me to get shots I would normally be able to get.
Howell warns a common problem with New Year's resolutions is coming into the gym and overworking.
But the question is, will Brooklyn Walters' book be published, or is it just another con?
This helmet and fire retardant suit are only part of what marine firefighters wear when battling the flames.
When driving down McKinley Avenue, it's easy to see why someone could get frustrated.
Aside from yearly activities like being able to milk a cow, this year the festival's made some changes and adaptations.
If a student feels harassed, they can write down their complaint and place it in the bully box in an effort to stop bullying.
Emergency management wanted to put a siren right by this pool. But what do homeowners say? Not in my backyard.
Village Pantry is also owned by Marsh, which means that they were included in the buyout. The fate of your local VP is still unknown.
Not only is it recommended for you to have a to-go kit in your home, you should also have one in your office and in the trunk of your car.
Right now, I'm standing on Mount Portland, tallest man-made motocross obstacle in the world.
Here at McBride Stadium, it's a beautiful day for a ball game, but beneath this puddle lies a larger drainage problem, and players can't play under these conditions.
For students, their supercar isn't just a toy. That's because they're using math, science, and technology to build on real-life situations.
And that's it. Hopefully I've shown you that I know what I'm doing, I'm good at what I do, and I would be a valuable asset. In case you've forgotten, my name is Adam Sturm, and I am a photojournalist.